Hi everybody, my name is Aisha Mossberg and welcome back to Skåne Startups video series. Skåne Startups is southern Sweden's grassroots startup community organization, meaning it's by entrepreneurs and for entrepreneurs. Today's episode is all about mentorship. Mentorship is often described as something that you either have to be, you will not succeed without it. But we take that to the test in this episode. Is that really the case? Continue watching to understand exactly what I mean. Hey everybody, so before we roll this episode, I have a question for you. We have 2 episodes that need new speakers and topics. If you have a suggestion, please comment that below, and whoever I choose, whether it be a person or a startup, I'll give you a shout out in that episode. Side note, done. Let's roll the episode.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, please do.
So, what do you consider the difference between an official mentor-mentee relationship and one that just kind of happens? So, like you mentor at Lund University, right? That is like a set relationship, like with expectations from both sides. But what about ones that are not like that? People that you just meet in your network and then you keep them in your network and you meet in a semi-often basis. What's the difference between those two?
Well,
20 minutes later.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't remember what the question was. What was the question?
Real Jeremy for you guys.
Next up, we actually have an interview with Charlotta Falvin.
I'm Charlotta Falvin. I work as a board director in a number of different companies, a handful of companies on the Stockholm Stock Exchange. My other half of time I spend here in this region working in the startup ecosystem, building communities around companies, just because I like that. I'm in one formal mentor relation where it's within program. But more so, the mentor relationships that I'm in have been of the sort where you meet someone and that person apparently feels that, oh, it was good talking to you. Can I call you again? Can we meet again? And maybe that happens, or it doesn't happen. Maybe it happens next month, maybe a year after. Yesterday, actually, I met a guy. It was 2 years since we met last. And he just called me the other week and said, hey, I really need to talk. Can we just meet? Because this is happening and I need someone to bounce my ideas off of. In some cases, I get the feeling that an ambitious person feels that I have to have a mentor because you have to have a mentor. It says so in the advice columns. I mean, that could be the good reason that you choose in order to then get a mentor. But some people don't need it and it's not the right thing, and others at different points in the career do need it and do wish to have a mentor. But one person that is a mentor could be something very different and have a very different role from a different person that is a mentor for someone. So a mentor is not a mentor, if you see what I mean. These are very different roles. If someone asks me, I want a mentor, I think I need a mentor, what am I going to do? Try find a person that you think could be valuable as a mentor and ask that person. And just say, I think it would be very valuable for me to talk to you. I think I can learn from you. Can I buy you a cup of coffee sometime? It's as easy as that. And you can get either a, yes, of course, or, no, I'm sorry, I don't have the time. You will not get, that's a stupid question, how can you ask such a question? And I don't think someone will think that either. Most of the time someone would be flattered. That person might think, I would love to, but I don't have time, I'm sorry. Then you'll just have to find another person who's not that busy. From a mentor's perspective, it's a luxury to be a mentor. Not only because it's flattering, obviously. Someone thinks I have something valuable to add. Ooh, that's flattering. We all like that, to be appreciated. But also, apart from that, is that I get to share the perspectives of someone else. Often a person who's younger than me, or who's in a different situation, who, as a part of the mentorship, shares with me his or her thoughts about the situation they're in, the context, and explain what's going on and what led up to it and what are their thoughts. And hey, it's such a resource Not as something that I would use the specifics for, obviously, because I mean it's confidential, but that experience that I get from that person, that's great. It's really, really valuable.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So, I just had my interview with Charlotta Falvin. Next up, Vedra from Boost Thyroid is going to speak a bit about her experiences from more of a mentoree perspective.
My name is Verdana. I'm the CEO of Boost Thyroid, a health tech startup solving problems for an autoimmune segment of health. And in the background, we are doing a lot of science to better understand and cater to individual patients' needs today and then as they live every day with their condition. When I look for mentors, I'm always asking myself, what would I like to get from my mentor? How experienced is my mentor? Because I need, for example, someone that understands the market I operate in, the business I'm trying to run. Then I ask myself also, what's the personality of my mentor? How open are they about their failures? Because we all know that it's very important to learn from failures. And last thing, when I'm looking for mentor, I try not to give up, because I know that the awesomest mentors are usually very busy, and I need to be prepared to wow them, whether that's by my personality, my drive, my idea. I need to have something to entice them. I have a lot of mentors, but I would like to mention my mentor Adam specifically, out of pool of all these great mentors. I was lucky with Adam. We live close by and I had a dog. Adam loves dogs, so we walked the dog and then we talked about startup life. I was considering to start a company, and he provided me with that extra grain of courage to jump into entrepreneurial and startup life. I strongly believe that mentorship goes two ways. Sometimes you can reciprocate it directly, sometimes you pay it forward. And as with anything else that involves human beings, it really depends on the personalities, sincerity, and grit of both parties involved. And if this matches, then mentorship may grow in a great relationship. I use my community as a really great vetting ground for mentors. I personally try to minimize exposure to people that use word mentorship and offer mentorship as a pretense of trying to sell their services. So someone that is trying immediately to pitch their services instead of listening to me is usually a big no sign for me. I discovered that when I'm reflecting now that my mentors actually listen a lot. They're crazy successful people. None of my mentors have bragged about their success. They would rather talk about their struggle, their trials, their errors, and what ultimately worked for them. They also never come up with finished solution for me. And lastly, they are quite humble. They are not shy to admit their limitations and things that they don't know. So this is what I find really great in my current mentors, and what I'm looking forward also with my future mentors.
Maybe exactly what you're saying is kind of the problem. Maybe putting labels on them and attaching names. This person is the mentor, this person is the mentee. Because don't you kind of switch roles every once in a while? You know, even if you're with somebody that's like more experienced or whatever, that would be traditionally considered as the mentor. Kind of you become the mentor in when they're talking, you know? So maybe the problem is labeling it. Instead of having it as just like you're like a cool person, I like your ideas, and let's just meet and talk.
Yeah, I think it's just about meeting and talking. I think we overdefine everything all the time. Just let it be, let it go, let it flow. You know?
Good on you, Harry. Good on you, lad. That was it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please give us a big thumbs up, tag and share this with anyone you think would find this information useful. Please visit skånestartups.com to find information about community events, startup jobs, and to subscribe to our newsletter. Don't forget to follow our local communities on Facebook, Malmö Startups, Lund Startups, and Helsingborg Startups. Thank you so much for watching. See you again in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.